Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into the card closet for another episode. Today, I'm going to do a video response for Rick at Vintage Oddball Cards. Rick is celebrating, I believe it's 800 subscribers, and he has a contest going on. He wants to see our oddball cards that we have in our collections. And since he said he's hoping to see cards that he's never seen before, I'm going to cast a really wide net and show a lot of different oddball cards. Hopefully, Rick, there's something here you haven't seen before. And same for the rest of you. So let's start off with basketball. Got a number of cards from this set, but this is from the early 70s. It's a Harlem Globetrotter set, and it was put out by Cocoa Puffs. Switching to football, I've got this McDonald's set. Mike Webster. This is called a dairy pack, but I know for a fact that I cut this off the side of an orange juice carton back in the late 80s. Can't remember what kind of juice it was, but I remember cutting it. Here's one from Jumbo Sunflower Seeds. Milkbone. That young card there with his dog. Got a few Twizzlers cards of a couple of Kevin Harvick. One of Mia Hamm, probably the first soccer card I've ever shown. And a couple more Twizzler cards of Nomar Garciaparra. Got a couple Kraft Macaroni cards. I remember cutting these off the side of a box as well. This one, it looks like I probably tore off the side. But that's Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. Another kind of gum. Bazooka. Probably some of the nicer quality oddball cards. Drake's Bakery put out some sets in the early 80s. How about Ziploc? You know, Ziploc storage bags made cards? They sure did. Now that's oddball. Post cereal. Back in the 63, they had this version of their cards, which was literally part of the box of cereal, and you had to cut it off. And then in more recent years, Post has had these collector series cards. So I've got a few of those. I don't know about you, but when I think of oddball cards, the first thing that comes to mind is Hostess. Here's a Carl Yastrzemski that I bought just a few years ago for my player collection. And then from my childhood, here's a Jim Rice Hostess and an Eddie Murray. I remember digging through the boxes at the grocery store or at the bread store, looking for cards on the backs of them, Twinkies, Ho-Hos, Hostess cupcakes, those kinds of goodies. And if we were lucky enough to have our mom allow us to buy some, we had it all ready to go with the players picked on the back that we wanted to be purchased. And Kellogg's, too, is another one I think of when I think of Oddball cards. Here's a Carl Yastrzemski Oddball from Kellogg's. And then more recently, Kellogg's Corn Flakes with the 2 shots of Jim Rice. Here's one of my favorites from Oscar Mayer Wieners, Superstar Roundup of Ken Griffey Jr. I also consider these oddballs. There's these cards that came out in books. So I've got this RBI book, and I've also got a Ball Street. And the Ball Street, I tore them all out, tore the pages out, thinking I'd cut them down to card size, but I just never did. I didn't like how they turned out with this perforated edge here. You know, I know you can trim it down. I could still trim this down to a Gem Mint 10, but it just doesn't look good with the binder like that. So the other ones in this other book I have not torn out yet. So from Ball Street, we've got a Bo Jackson. Got an RBI, Ryan Sandberg. Just going to show the better ones here. Ball Street, Jeff Bagwell. RBI of Ken Griffey Jr. See, I think people would be interested in that card. I just don't know the best way to remove it. So if you've got advice on that, let me know. Ball Street of Roger Clemens. RBI card of Ricky Henderson. So Jose Canseco in there too, as you can see the back of the other one. So I think of those as being oddball coming out of a book like that. And then probably, you know, when you when you super collect a player, you end up with every card of that player, so you get a lot of oddball stuff. So from my Aaron Seeley super collection, I've got this one from Dr. Pepper Bottling of Texas. Got a Dunkin' Donuts Pawtucket Red Sox card of Aaron Seeley. Fisher Nuts from the Lynchburg Red Sox, Lynchburg, Virginia. Cloverdale Meats. Keebler Cookies. Is that oddball or what? Lowe's Home Improvement Store. And finally, last but not least, Primera Blue Cross, which I'm guessing is the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Washington. So there you go, Rick. Congratulations on meeting that big milestone. Hope there was something here you had not seen before. So all the rest of you, I recommend going to check out Rick. He's got a great collection. He's got a lot of food issues, tobacco issues. He goes way back, over 100 years with his collection. I was going to show some of my tobacco and pre-war cards because, let's face it, everything pre-war is pretty much oddball because it's a food issue or a tobacco issue. Caramel, gum, you know, it's all oddball in my mind. So I didn't show any of that. Show those slowly year by year as we go forward. But give Rick at Vintage Oddball Cards a look if you haven't heard of him. He's a great guy. And I hope the rest of you are having a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon. Bye.